Today I'm making one of the best little desserts. These are perfect for spring and so good. First, you're going to take a 24 pack of the sugar cookie dough and then put those in a mini muffin pan and bake as the directions say. And now we're making that fruit pizza topping. So first you need 1 block of softened cream cheese, 2 tablespoons of softened butter, a splash of vanilla, and then 1 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. Just mix that up really well until everything's combined. All right, whenever those sugar cookies come out of the oven, you're gonna make a little cup out of them, just like that. Then I actually place mine in the freezer for 5 to 10 minutes. Now all you do is just twist them and then they pop right out. Now grab that filling that you made earlier, and I'm using a piping bag and just filling them with those. And now you're going to cut up whatever kind of fruit you want. We always do strawberries, blueberries, and kiwi. Make sure you cut those into really small cubes. Now you're just going to add that fruit right on top. These little fruit pizza cups are so amazing. Fruit pizza has always been one of my favorite desserts, and these little personal size ones are so good and perfect for family occasions. I hope you guys give this one a try. Let me know if you do. Let's make the best party potatoes. First, to a large bowl, you're going to add a 2-pound bag of frozen southern style hash browns. Then you're going to add this whole container of French onion dip. Then add 1 can of the cheddar cheese soup, and this part is optional, but I am adding 1 onion diced, and I am adding a half a stick of butter to that and melting it in the microwave and adding that in. I added 1 or 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese, and then season it however you want. I'm using garlic powder, slap your mama, and some pepper. Mix this up really well, and then grab a 9x13 pan, and I'm putting a little oil down on mine, or you can add some cooking spray to it just so nothing sticks. Add all of that mixture to your pan and then flatten it out as good as you can. Now you can add more cheese to the top of this. I honestly just forgot. And then you're going to crunch up these cheddar and sour cream chips all over it. Then melt a half of a stick of butter and then spread this all over. Bake this at 350 degrees for 50 minutes to 1 hour until those chips start to get a little golden. These are the best party potatoes ever. They are perfect for any occasion. I hope you guys love them. Tonight I made my favorite macaroni salad. I have been craving this for so long. First, you're going to cook a pound of macaroni, and I did those ones with the little ridges in it, and then you're going to drain that, let it cool all the way. Then to a separate bowl, you're going to add 1.5 cups of mayonnaise to that, a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, and about a tablespoon of white vinegar. Then you're going to add some pepper here, and then about 2 tablespoons of sugar. Just mix this up really well, and you're going to set it aside for now. Then I'm adding around a half of a cup of red onions, and this is my oldest, Gracie. She really wanted to help with this one, but she couldn't handle the mayonnaise. I did add a splash of the green olive juice, and then I'm doing that whole jar of green olives sliced up, and then I did another little bit too. So a cup to a cup and a half of green olives, that's up to you. And then this time, I've never done this, but I added a little bit of black olives in there too. And now you're gonna mix that dressing into the macaroni. And this is where you kind of want to try it too to see if you need any more of anything. I added some more pepper here. If you want, you can add salt, but the green olives already give it kind of a salty taste. You do want to let this sit in your fridge for a few hours before serving. I definitely had a bowl right away though. This is the best macaroni salad ever. I am so excited to share this recipe. It is brown sugar bacon wrapped baby carrots. These are so incredible, perfect for that Easter celebration coming up. Another great thing about this recipe is it is only 3 ingredients and it's so easy to make. So first it's just bacon, brown sugar, and the baby carrots. You're going to cut your bacon into thirds and then just wrap a baby carrot. And then you're just going to continue to do this. And this is what takes the longest and the most tedious. But I think you could make this the day before and then just put it in your fridge and then bake it the next day. Okay, and then you're going to put your brown sugar on the top. I did about a half of a cup to 3/4 cups. I did not measure here. Just make sure that it is all covered. Just like this, and you're going to smooth it out. I baked mine at 350 degrees for 45 to 50 minutes. Just keep an eye on them until that bacon is cooked all the way, until your desired crispiness too. So this is how they turned out. They are so incredible. You have to try these. Let me know if you do. Today I made these little veggie dip pinwheels. So this is my veggie pizza dip. I am just rolling those in some tortillas. It is like my favorite thing ever right now. First, you're just taking 2 blocks of softened cream cheese. You're going to chop up whatever veggies you want. I'm doing a bell pepper, some broccoli, and some carrots and black olives because I am obsessed with black olives, but you can obviously leave those out. And I wanted to add a red onion too because those are my favorite too, but Walmart keeps saying they're out, so I didn't get a red onion. And then you're going to mix in a half of a cup of mayonnaise, a half a cup of sour cream, about a packet or so of ranch, and you could always change up those seasonings. Just mix that up really well and then add your veggies to that dip and start mixing again. And then I added my olives in and about 3/4 cups or so of some shredded cheese, and you can kind of use whatever cheese you want. This is like my favorite dip, but then I had the idea that I think they would go great as little pinwheels. So that is what we're doing. I'm taking a big burrito tortilla and then just spreading that on. and then rolling it up. And I'm putting mine in the fridge for an hour or so just so it hardens a little bit and it's easier to cut. But these were incredible. I think they'd make an awesome appetizer, but I'm going to eat them for lunch during the week when we're on the go because we have a game like every single night. These are definitely a must try. I hope you guys love them. This dinner is one of the easiest dinners. I first shared this a couple of years ago and everybody loved it. First, you're going to slice up a couple smoked sausage links. Usually I do one, but we are doing 2 tonight. And then I am dicing up a onion. Now grab a skillet and add a little bit of oil to that and set it to medium to high heat. While that skillet heats up, you're going to add everything else to your crock pot. First, I'm adding this bag of frozen shredded hash browns, 1 can of cheddar cheese soup, and then I'm going to fill that can up with some heavy cream, dump that in, and then around a half of a cup of sour cream. Then I added around a cup of shredded Colby Jack cheese. You can really season however you want. I'm adding ranch seasoning and a little bit of Slap Your Mama seasoning. Once that skillet's nice and hot, you're gonna add the sausage and onion. Just saute that until nice and browned. Now you're gonna mix up everything in your crock pot and then take that sausage and onion, add that in your crock pot as well, and then mix that up. Cover this and cook on high 2 to 3 hours or so, or low around 5 hours. Now just take off the lid and mix it up again. This dinner is so amazing. It is creamy, just so flavorful and delicious. Tonight's dinner is another really easy one. I'm making a delicious Mississippi pot roast. First, grab a 4-pound chuck roast, and I cut mine into 3 large pieces just like this, and then spray a little oil on those, and then season them really well with whatever you want. Then you're going to grab a skillet and make sure there's just a touch of oil in there, and now you're going to sear these. Now if you want, you can really skip this step, but I don't recommend doing that. It tastes way better like this. And make sure to sear it on every single side. You want that nice deep brown color like this. Once you got all those sides, you're going to remove that from the pan, and I'm just going to deglaze my pan with a little bit of beef broth. It's easier to clean the pan this way anyway. Now grab that seared chuck roast and you're going to add that to your crock pot, along with those juices from the skillet. Now grab some whole pepperoni peppers, and I am adding about 7 or 8 of them, and then a splash of the juice. Then grab a packet of au jus mix and then a packet of ranch seasoning and add that in there. I'm wanting mine with a lot of gravy, so I'm adding 1.5 cups of beef broth mixed with 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Then just top it with some sliced butter. I'm serving mine over mashed potatoes, so I'm just doing these quick and easy ones. Grab an 8x8 dish or just a touch bigger, and then I buttered that pan and added some grated Parmesan cheese to it. Then grab those Bob Evans mashed potatoes and then add a half of a cup of sour cream to them and a half of a block of softened cream cheese. Mix up really well and then top it with more Parmesan cheese and then more sliced butter. I cooked my roast on high for about 4 to 5 hours. My crock pot does run really hot though, so you might need a little bit longer on that, or maybe low 8 hours. I did make those mashed potatoes when I made that pot roast. That's why I love these. You can make them ahead and then bake them whenever you're ready to eat. That pot roast should fall apart whenever it's done, and then we served them over our mashed potatoes. This one was amazing. Tonight's dinner is one of those dinners I could make every single night and it just never gets old. It is so amazing. First, I'm taking these little steaks and then I'm putting a little oil on those and some salt and pepper. Then grab a large pot and then fill that up with some water. Set that on high and then get that water boiling for your angel hair pasta. Then grab about 4 garlic cloves and then chop those up. And now I'm cooking those steaks about 3 minutes on each side to get more of a medium rare. By now that water should be boiling, so go ahead and throw your pasta in. Then once those steaks are done cooking, just pull those off and you're going to let those rest. Then you're going to deglaze that pan. I'm just using some chicken broth, but if you want, you can use beef broth. This is just what I had. I added about a 1/4 cup of that, and then you're going to try and get all those brown bits off. And then I'm adding 6 tablespoons of butter. Then throw that garlic in as well. And my heat is more at a medium to low here because I didn't want to burn anything. And now I added some red pepper flakes and some Italian seasoning. And now I'm adding a couple cups of chopped broccoli to this. You're going to cook this for at least 5 minutes or so. And then I'm adding 2 more tablespoons of butter before throwing those noodles in. Just toss that up really well in that butter. And then you're going to top it with just a little bit of Parmesan cheese and red pepper flakes. Then grab those steaks and set them right on top. My entire family loves this one. I hope you guys give it a try. Today for a dessert, I made a sheet pan strawberry shortcake. This was incredible. It was so easy to make. It was perfect for a big party or if you just have a big family like I do. First, take a box cake mix of the angel food cake and then just make that as the box directions say. All you do is add some water and then keep stirring. Then you're going to take one of the larger sheet pans and just pour that into your sheet pan. I'm using parchment paper just to make it a little easier on cleanup and stuff, but you can just use your sheet pan too. So just spread this all over just like this, and I was so worried about it baking over, but it did. Bake that at 350 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes until the top turns just a little bit gold, and then you need to let it cool all the way. I put mine in the fridge till it cooled. Now you're just going to flip it over on your sheet pan and then just peel back on that parchment paper. just like this. I was so happy the way it turned out because I was really worried. And now you just take some Cool Whip and then just spread it all on the top, chop up your strawberries, and actually Lena ended up chopping up the strawberries for me. So we're just gonna top it with our strawberries. And that was it. It was so easy and it was so delicious. You guys gotta give this one a try. One of our favorite dinners again. We're just doing some roasted potatoes and smashed burger tacos, and you guys know that we love this one. I've shared it so many times, but it's so good. First, I'm grabbing some russet potatoes and then cubing up those very small. You're gonna wash those and then put a couple tablespoons of oil with those. Now just season them however you want, really. I'm doing a packet of ranch seasoning and then some Slap Your Mama seasoning, and just toss those up really well. Then you're gonna grab a large sheet pan, and I always line mine with some parchment paper just for an easier cleanup. Spread those out on your pan, and then you're gonna bake these at 425 degrees for 45 minutes to an hour, and make sure you flip those every once in a while just to make sure everything's nice and crispy. Then I'm grabbing 2 pounds of ground beef and just season it again however you want. I did this barbecue blend seasoning. Just mix that up really well, and you're gonna form them into about 1.5 to 2 inch balls. Then I take these street taco shells, and then you're just gonna put your ball down and then smash those into your pan just like that. My griddle is set at 350 degrees, and I cook those for about 3 minutes and then flip them over for another minute or so until that cheese gets nice and melted, and then I just set them on some paper towels to drain. Then once those potatoes are nice and crispy, go ahead and take those out, and then you just add whatever toppings you want to those smashed burger tacos. We did some lettuce, and then I always do that burger sauce. These are so good. Dinner was absolutely amazing. First, to my crock pot, I'm adding a couple pounds of chicken, and then I'm adding the seasonings right here. Then you're gonna grab 2 jars of your favorite Alfredo sauce. Dump both of those into your crock pot, and then grab some low sodium chicken broth and then fill those jars up. You're going to use that whole thing of chicken broth right there. So what you have left in that carton, just dump that in as well. I cooked mine on low for around 4.5 hours until that chicken was done. And then I'm taking mine out and then chopping it up. And if you want, you could shred this up, and you're adding that back into your crock pot. Then I added some freshly shredded Parmesan cheese. I did that whole plate full of it, so maybe around 1.5 cups or so. And then I'm adding these ditalini noodles. I did around 1 cup, 1.5 cups or so. And then I'm serving my soup in these little bread bowls. So I got these little Kaiser rolls, just cutting those into bread bowls, very easy. You can really do this however you want. I put my oven at 425 degrees, and then I melted some butter and some garlic, added a little Italian seasoning, and then some red pepper flakes. I am just putting the butter all over this and popping them in the oven for about 5 minutes. Oh, and then I added some freshly shredded Parmesan cheese to that as well. Whenever those were all nice and toasty like this, I added my soup to this, and then of course topped it with some more shredded Parmesan cheese, and then I added some bacon crumbles to the top too. Popped that back in the oven for just a minute or two until everything was all melted. This chicken Alfredo soup was seriously so incredible. This is definitely going on one of my top favorite dinners. Today I'm making some fudgy, chewy, delicious brownies. This is pretty much all the tricks that you can make box brownies even better. First, instead of oil, you're using melted butter. So I'm doing 1/2 stick of melted butter to this. You're gonna add some vanilla and then 3 tablespoons of heavy cream. And now you're gonna add 2 eggs to this and then just mix up. And now I'm adding about 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. Now just fold these in well. Now you're gonna grab a baking pan, and you're gonna wanna go a little smaller. So do more of an 8x8 baking pan. Mine is about that size, it's just a different shape. Now add that brownie mix to that baking pan with some parchment paper, and then spread out. Bake this at 350 degrees for 30 to 35 minutes. I sit mine in the freezer for about an hour or so till it chills all the way down. Now you're gonna make a really easy chocolate topping. First, you're gonna microwave 1/2 cup of heavy cream for 1 minute. Then add 1.5 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips to this, and then let it sit for a couple minutes, and now stir it up really well until it's nice and smooth. Once that brownie has chilled all the way down, you're gonna pour that all over it, and now return to the freezer or the fridge for a couple hours. I did the freezer for about an hour or so. And once that chocolate is set and hardened, you're gonna remove that parchment paper from that, and now just cut into squares. And if you want, you can top this with some sea salt or some sprinkles. These are the best brownies ever. I hope you give them a try.